Hello, this is Dave Rowlands. Wincanton's fleet of over 5,000 goods vehicles and cars burn around 110 million litres of fuel each year. This forms over 10% of our overall business spend, being some 30% of our total transport costs. And if there is one thing we can all rely on, it is that fuel costs only ever increase. Whilst the vehicle weight, terrain travelled and type of vehicle driven all have an impact, the biggest influence on how much fuel is used is ourselves, the vehicle's driver. We all need to play our part in reducing this ever-increasing spend, both for the sake of the company's sustainability and that of the environment. The objective of this short video is to highlight the impact that a cool head, steady progress and a light right foot has on reducing fuel consumption. The added advantage is that this is also proven to reduce the risk of accidents and leads to a less stressful drive of interest to us all. So whether you drive a car, a van or a truck, take time to consider the tips this video provides and make a conscious effort to continuously improve your driving style to enhance both fuel economy and the environment to everyone's benefit. Thank you.
Okay, before we set off on this fuel efficient drive, there's a couple of things to consider. On the outside of the vehicle, make sure you've got no unnecessary roof racks fitted. Make sure there's no excess weight in the boot. The car should be regularly serviced, and most importantly, the tyres should be inflated fully to the manufacturer's specification. Underinflated tyres put a drag on the vehicle and radically affect the efficiency of the fuel consumption. If your car is fitted with an option to select an economy driving position, do so. Also, if you have air conditioning fitted, choose the Eco mode. This will all help fuel efficient driving. Don't use the air conditioning unless you absolutely have to, and always have the windows up, otherwise it's just a total waste of time. You should try and travel the windows up anyway because it reduces drag on the vehicle. Right, we're now going to set off and try and drive as economically as we can. We're going to try and deal with the traffic conditions. So looking in the mirror, just wait for the gap. I'm going to start the car and move off. I don't want the car to be running unnecessarily before I pull away. I'm changing up at 2,000 revs. This is a diesel car. There's no need to go above 2,000 to 2,500 revs in any car. This will give you maximum fuel efficiency. Right, looking ahead, we're using our eyes to look as far ahead of the vehicle as we can. We're approaching a roundabout. I'm checking my mirror, there's a truck behind me, but he's well back. I'm going to go straight across this roundabout. I'm now using that energy we built up in the car to come into this roundabout on the overrun with no throttle. I've checked the junction, there's nothing coming around. I can keep progress moving. And the important thing in an efficient drive is not to stop the car unnecessarily. So checking the mirrors again, we've still got a truck behind us, but he's well behind. 2,000 revs and change up. We need to look as far ahead down the road as we possibly can. The reason we do this is to judge the traffic conditions. We're trying not to stop unless we absolutely have to. We're letting that vehicle pull out. We've given him space, let him use it. It's not a competition. If you give people space, it's there for them to use. Checking the mirrors again, the truck's well behind us. Again, 2,000 revs, change up. Looking into the distance, we can see a roundabout coming up after this bend. We can see brake lights, so we're going to use those brake lights as our eyes. We know they're braking. There's no point in screaming up to those braking vehicles and using your brakes. You spent money getting the energy into the car, so let's use that energy to come into this roundabout. Checking the mirror, taking the speed off. We want to come into this roundabout nice and steady, and we're going to try and keep moving. Just checking vehicles on the right. There's a van. I think he's going left. If his indicator's correct, yes he is. There's nothing coming around the roundabout. We're going straight through. Keep an eye on this van. He's using the space. That's not a problem. Just checking the mirrors once again. We're in a 40 limit. Speed limits are not only a good idea to keep your license intact, they're also a very fuel efficient way to drive. Just checking this junction on the left, and there's no problem with vehicles pulling out of there. Vehicle behind me is well behind. We need to keep a good following distance on the vehicles in front. At no time should we be less than 4 seconds behind the vehicle in front. So when he passes that lamppost, that's 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, we're actually 6 seconds behind. We're looking for people on this crossing. It's a Pelican crossing. There's no one there. If they were, there was a good chance those lights would change red. Just coming into this roundabout at a slow and steady pace. We're blind on that corner now. We can see, because we've taken the speed off, it gives us more time to see, more time to react, and more chance to keep the vehicle moving. Again, pulling away, 2,000 revs, we're changing up, checking the mirrors again. There's a right-hand filter sign, so chances are there's some traffic lights around this corner. We're blind at the moment. We can now see the red traffic lights, green for us straight ahead. Chances are, if those red lights were green for the filter, this could well affect the colour of these lights. We're through on green, we're past the point of no return. We still haven't stopped the vehicle. Looking well ahead, we can see a roundabout. We're going to go all the way around this roundabout. Looking at the vehicles in front, their brake lights are coming on. Checking the vehicles behind, we haven't got a problem. He's well back. We're indicating we're now using again that momentum that's built up in the car. We're coming into this roundabout on overrun. We're using no fuel or very, very little fuel. Keeping an eye on the road on the right. We've got a gap, we can go through without stopping. Always be aware that people don't always signal on roundabouts. Keeping an eye on this truck. He's waiting for us to come round. Checking the mirrors. 2,000 revs, change up. We can see a red light in the distance. No point in screaming up to the red light and stopping. The last thing you want to do is to stop a vehicle for no reason. The energy involved in getting a vehicle moving again is incredible, and the effect on fuel consumption is very dramatic. So we're keeping an eye on the mirror. These lights are going amber. We want to arrive behind this vehicle. He's pulling away. We're getting our 4 seconds following distance back, and we're going to go through this green light again without stopping. We're keeping an eye on that cyclist on the left. We need to give him some space. Just checking my mirror. Give him plenty of room. So when the vehicle in front goes past this lamppost, we'll count off the following distance: 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. We're 4 seconds behind the vehicle in front. This is a relaxed way to drive. It's a very fuel efficient way to drive. Brake lights coming on, we can see a roundabout. Again, we're looking for vehicles coming round the roundabout and turning to the right. There aren't any. Just keeping an eye on that turning on the left. And we haven't got a problem. We're through the roundabout. Again, pedestrian crossing, no one on the crossing, so the chances are, unless the lights are defective, they're not going to go red. 2,000 revs, we're changing up. We can now see a good 30 to 40 seconds in front of the vehicle, and we should be looking and reading the road that far ahead. The reason is it gives you much longer to make a decision, and you are much more relaxed. It's not a crazy ride where you're gripping the steering wheel. You're relaxed and you're driving efficiently. We're coming into this roundabout up ahead. Going to give myself plenty of distance between me and the vehicles in front. Looking in the mirror, there's no one behind me for 3, 4, 5 seconds. One vehicle turning right in front of me. I'm going to come in real slow. That fence is giving me a bit of a blind spot. One vehicle going ahead, I can now see there's nothing coming round. Let this van go. Just back off, let him pull away. And we're back into a clear road. Again, we haven't stopped the vehicle and we're not stressed. We're now into a national speed limit road. So let's try and use the cruise control. The thing about cruise is it's on now. The thing about cruise is it's a very efficient thing to use. It's very good for fuel efficiency, but only use it if it's safe to do so, if you've got a clear road. Also, consider the speed that you cruise on the motorway. Do you normally cruise at 80 miles an hour? If so, why? If you cruise at 70 or even better 68, you'll probably find you'll get there just as quick and you'll get there using a lot less fuel. Okay, we're coming into a roundabout, truck on the left. We're going to make sure there's no one getting out of that truck. You can see him in the mirror and we haven't got a problem. Coming into a roundabout, we're using that momentum again in the car, that energy we've built up. We're going to come in on the overrun. We're looking for vehicles on the right and we're going to go all the way round to the right and into this service area. Just checking vehicles coming down from our left. He's seen me. She's going to stop and we're going to go left into this service area. Again, we're using as little speed as possible. We're keeping the revs low. And we'll stop behind this vehicle in front. We're going to leave a space between us and the vehicle in front so that should we need to, we can pull away and stop the engine, because cars these days, you don't want to keep them ticking over for no reason. And that's the drive concluded. So to conclude then, fuel efficient driving is a very relaxed way to drive. The way to get efficiency from your vehicle is to use the momentum that you've built up into it. You've spent money expending fuel to get the speed into the vehicle, that kinetic energy. Use that energy coming into a hazard on the overrun and you'll use no fuel while you're doing so. So traffic lights, roundabouts, pedestrians on crossing, read the road and try and keep moving at all times. Consider your cruising speed on motorways, whether you need to do 80 miles an hour, 70, 68, you'll get there just as quick and you'll get there much more efficiently. Make sure your car is in tip-top condition and arrive efficiently, safely and in a relaxed way.